paradox is that on the one hand, we have industries that are doing amazingly well in areas related to the arts and humanities, and on the other, governments increasingly underprivilege the arts and humanities because they don't see their immediate relevance. And it's our responsibility to actually address that paradox. I'm actually quite dubious about saying this is the responsibility of Donald Trump or whatever. I think that governments will, on occasion, happily ride those bandwagons, but I think actually this is more ideological, that this has a long route to it in which we've seen the apotheosis of science at the same time as, if you like, religion is declining. So, you know, that sense that what has primacy in our lives is what we can demonstrate in this world, and science is a huge proponent of that, is a very strong ideological force. And I think there are politicians who will jump on this partly in a way that one might argue to be anti-democratic, because humanities is so much about the expression of ideas, the expression of the freedom of thought, etc. But I think these are much, particularly in the West, I think these are much more deep-seated ideological moves in society, which politicians may certainly be exploiting, but which they are not wholly responsible for. I represent an institution which is one of the hardest institutions to get into in the UK, which offers a wide range of subjects, but which offers them in dynamic combinations. So we are incredibly strong in international relations at St Andrews, but we frequently offer it in combination with psychology, for example. So I think the question is less about student choice driving this, and more about what institutions themselves strategically want to offer. And it seems to me that institutions have to both shape the game and stay ahead of it, and that in an increasingly interdisciplinary world where we're mixing up the sciences and the arts far more than we used to, the subject offers that we make at university really need to reflect that flexibility. And I think that came very strongly out of our session, that at least 3 of the speakers in our panel were talking about being at institutions which offer students a wide range of choices from the get-go, which may mix up or bring into congruence the arts and the sciences at the same time, and in a way break down that opposition between them by saying that they need to work together, and we should be trying to generate future cohorts of students who think across these subjects, rather than that they're making specific and life-defining choices between them. I think the 4-year degree in Scotland is hugely appealing, actually, because it allows students to explore and to take different routes during the course of a 4-year degree. It also says that the crucial years are the honours years in the 3rd and 4th year, and that when you get into the honours years, you're really building on, in a mature way, the subject choices that you've made in years 1 and 2. And that is a very distinctive aspect of the Scottish system, particularly in comparison to other parts of the UK. I also think that that is very much tied into thinking about employability, not in an entirely vocational, but in a rather creative way. We know that employers like students who are flexible, adaptable, can multitask, can work with different types of material, can work individually and in groups. And the nature of the Scottish higher education system very much plays to all of those aspects, that the sort of graduate skill set that it develops is one of great flexibility and adaptability, and the capacity to move across subject areas. We certainly find from my own institution's perspective that that is what is really attractive to international students. We at the moment, in our current year, have students from 130 different countries in 1 square mile of Northeast 5. And that's indicative, I think, of the global appeal of Scottish universities. I think students are very attracted to the notion that they will come to institutions like Strathclyde, like Edinburgh, like Glasgow, like ourselves, that already have good links with industries. And this will be a range from engineering and medicine through to, for example, we every year run something called the Sands International Film Festival, where Joe and Anthony Russo, who have the Marvel franchise, come and work with us every year and run a film festival, which our students doing film studies or other subjects can get involved in, and this gives them an early entree into the world of film. So I think that Scottish universities that are so well connected through to a range of different types of industries, from the hard and material sciences through to the creatives, are very attractive. Because that is something that they're offering not just on top of their degrees, but really as part of their degree structures. If you're a medievalist, you have to have a wide range of strings to your bow. Right, you're trying to understand the past. You're trying to understand, if you like, what almost seems like a different world, but you're also having to do that with a range of different languages. So it makes you think and work differently. So I find that my training as a medievalist means that I'm never sitting in one particular subject area. I am very used to getting into areas that I don't immediately understand but have to grasp for myself. And I'm very, very used to working comparatively frequently in areas that are difficult. And I think that's a kind of an important aspect of all of this. We're slightly losing sight of the fact that university is about hard work. It's not just about doing what you know, it's about studying what you don't know. And that what you gain from that gives you fantastically kind of translatable skills, because if you can master that, you can do anything. That's my view of being a medievalist. If you can do that, you can do anything.